All right, man, I've had enough, okay? These OGs is starting to really piss me off because they're disrespecting the new wave of basketball players. The game changes over time, and I feel like these OGs just don't want to accept that. Players get better over time, and I feel like these OGs just do not want to accept that. Just how the new wave of players pay their respects to those that came before them. The OGs should be excited, pushing it forward, pushing the game forward, and giving the props to those that came after them. In terms of the new guys, like, Michael Jordan's giving respect to LeBrons and so on and so forth. But then when it comes to the NBA media, bro, this is getting out of hand. We got these OGs just talking. Stephen A., these two dudes on PTI, Skip Bayless, and the list goes on. The TNT crew, you got to hold them accountable too. Not all of them, but some, I'm saying most of them, sometimes they be sneak hating. Now, Michael Wilbon response to LeBron James surpassing 50,000 points. Let's listen.
Begin today with LeBron James becoming the first NBA player to exceed the 50,000 points barrier. Counting regular season and playoff games, LeBron is now at 50,033 after scoring 34 last night in the Lakers' win over New Orleans. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is second all-time in scoring, but it's a distant second, 44,149. The closest active player is Kevin Durant. He's about 15,000 points behind LeBron.
Insane.
Wilbon, what does this milestone mean to you?
Not a damn thing. Nothing.
Really?
It's numbers.
Okay.
I'm not part of the two generations that need numbers to appreciate or evaluate everything. I don't need to wake up and look at the box score and see that somebody had 25, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5 to declare it a good night.
Right. Begin today.
Man, what a fumble. The reason why I say that is because that was the opportunity to push the game forward. That was the opportunity to say, you know what? What LeBron did was freaking phenomenal. It's nothing short of phenomenal. We've never seen nobody surpass 50,000 points. And then, he does ask him, what does it mean to you? Which, to be honest, it doesn't mean nothing to him. But what he could have said was, yeah, it doesn't mean much to me, but for the game of basketball, we'll say this, man, it's phenomenal to see someone of that stature just continue to surpass everything in year 22. It could have been something that simple. But it's like they're just continuing, like they just do not want to give props to the new guys. And numbers are a part of the game. When you count rings, that's numbers. When you count accolades, that's numbers. When someone says I'm a 10-time All-NBA, 10-time NBA defensive, those have numbers attached to the accolade. When you say, yeah, he's been great, he's been playing great for 20 seasons, that's still talking about numbers. Now, maybe the analytics you don't like, all the score sheets and all that stuff, but sometimes when you look at a score sheet, you can tell who played bad and who played good. But even if you didn't watch the game, sometimes you gotta watch the score. Sometimes you gotta look at the score sheet and watch the game. You know what I'm saying? They go with each other. Now, the score sheet can be deceiving. You can see somebody have 30 points, say, dang, he was cooking. It could have been a bad 30. Gosh, dang it. You know what? Nope. We're not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop. Here we go. We on. Could have been a bad 30. Okay? But I'm not with all that. Like, it's just negative, dude. Like, just show love to the game. And this goes to what LeBron was saying about the face of the NBA. Everybody in the media just trashes the face of the NBA. So, like, why would anybody want to be the face of the NBA right now? Everybody in the media, all they do is talk down upon a game. It's redundant. Talking about LeBron, Stephen A. Smith and LeBron that got into an altercation courtside during a game, by the way. This wasn't even after the game. This was going, I think, to the fourth quarter or even during the fourth quarter or something like that. After a timeout, LeBron confronted Stephen A. And this is what it looked like.
That was LeBron James coming up to me, unexpectedly, I might add, to confront me about making sure that I mind what I say about his son. Can't repeat the words because they ain't suited for FCC airwaves. That's what he was doing.
I'm not going to watch the full thing, but everybody's seen the video. I just want to get my thoughts on it. I've watched both sides. Okay, I've watched the video. I've watched Stephen A. talk about it on ESPN, on his talk show, like multiple times, right? And the only thing that was like kind of alarming to me was Stephen A. goes, I don't want to have to address this. I wouldn't have either had it not gone viral. Now I have no choice. First Take first at 10 a.m. Eastern, then the Stephen A. Smith Show on YouTube. Some things had to be said. So, I get it. If it goes viral, look, sometimes you want to hop in front of it and say, look, man, this is what it was, this is what it is. Because, LeBron's not going to go in the media and talk about it again. He's not going to say that in front of the media. But Kevin Love responds. By the way, Kevin Love has had a phenomenal social media run in 2024, 2025. He said, you have no choice, LOL, question mark. You because it went viral, LOL. You didn't want to have to, LOL. You wouldn't have, LOL. So kind of, I get what Kevin's saying. He was like, you just said I didn't want to have to address this. Well, if you didn't want to have to, then you shouldn't have to. Because if you didn't address it, even if it went viral, everybody it'd have been hearsay, you know what I'm saying? He say, she say. But the moment you get in front of it, now it's like, okay, you said your side, but LeBron's never going to say his side of the story. And to be honest, we know Stephen A. has said some things. So Bron keeps receipts. And Bron confronted it head on. And Stephen A. said you could have contacted me, things of this nature. But then he went on the Stephen A. Smith Show and said that people from the LeBron side contacted me about X, Y, and Z. So he contradicted himself right there. But what better way to address something than head on? If I see you, I don't know when I'm gonna see you again. I see you right then and there. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you something right now. I mean, I think as a man to man, that's how you should want it. It might not have been the time and the place, but it was face to face. That's a bar, by the way. That just rhymed. But to go on First Take and say something and then double down and go back on your Stephen A. Smith Show and say it again, I just think that's a little bit OD. Just if you're gonna address it once. That's cool. I'm not even knocking you for addressing it, because like I said, it's up to you if you want to do it. But don't say you didn't want to have to. Because you didn't have to, but you wanted to. Just be honest, you wanted to a little bit. I'm saying you want to be like, hold on, this is what went down, which is cool. But to address it on First Take and Stephen A. Smith Show, I feel like, all right, that was a little D. Okay, and then this is the audio from the Boston Celtics game with LeBron talking to RJ, Richard Jefferson. So, Stephen A. was like, I'm pleading you as a father. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. And Bron just addressed it. Some thought he stood on business. Some thought it was weak. Even Stephen A. said, Bron was addressing me not as a player, but as a father. And he's like, that, I felt that. So like I said, it's up to you guys to make your assumption on the situation. But my whole thing is this, is LeBron has said some things about Bronny. Fair, right? But we're acting like the people drafted after Bronny are having more of a better career than Bronny. They're actually not doing as well in the G League, by the way. So for Bronny to go 55th in the NBA draft, why is that such you acting like the nigga win lotto or something? But Bron did say Bronny could play over some of the guys in the NBA right now currently, which technically is kind of true. If you really look at it, right now he's playing on the Los Angeles Lakers, who's a 2 seed in the Western Conference right now. They don't need Bronny right now. They don't have time to develop him during NBA games. That's just what it is. It's going to be a project. It's going to be a few-year thing. But I think he took sight as to what Stephen A. has been saying in the media. And he's like, bro, I'm just going to address it head on, man. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the situation. But I just think this, though, at the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith has a very important part in the media. Because what he says gets spewed to the masses. Whatever rhetoric he says or decides to have, it gets spewed and poured to the masses. So if he pushes the game forward more on a positive note, I think a lot of other colleagues, a lot of other analysts will follow suit. And that's how I got respect for Stephen A. Because what he does and what he's done for a long time, that's commendable in the analyst sports world. I can't knock the hustle. Can't knock it. But I will say he has done and said some things where I'm like, hey, bro, that's not cool. Also, I feel like then he went and he said, to be quite frank, me and Bron don't fuck with each other like that. Okay. So if you don't mess with somebody, and it's on a personal level, me personally speaking, if I don't mess with somebody on a personal level, I'm not going to continue to bring them up. I'm not even going to continue to debate about them in a GOAT conversation because I know I'm bringing a personal agenda to it. Right? Now, if it's just fun and games, I'm just like trying to get my point across, and that's different. But if it's personal, and every time I bring it up, I know that I have a personal vendetta against a guy, like we don't mess with each other like that, I'm probably gonna be like, you know what? This isn't really my place to speak on it because I already have a preconceived notion of the person because I don't have the best relationship with them. And we've seen it multiple times with Stephen A. with different players. We got to be accountable here. Got to be accountable. That's my only thing. Let me know if I'm tripping. Like I said, everybody's different, but that's just me. If I got personal beef with somebody, I'm not going to continue to talk about them in the media to the masses over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? Now I know that's his job though. I get it. But if that's your job, I think you should right that wrong so that when you do talk about them, it's more like, okay, you know, we talked about it, we squashed it, yada, yada, whatever the case may be. But I know that's his job, and ESPN is definitely saying, hey, we need you to talk about X, Y, and Z. But I'm just saying from a personal standpoint, that's what I wouldn't do. But I get that he might have to. But, yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the situation. This is my dialogue and what I think on everything. I appreciate you guys for stopping by for the conversation. Sell on air. Signing off. Sayonara. Peace.